Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you're all having a fantastic day and had a fantastic weekend. I got a good one here for you. This is actually a AMA slash announcements recap from the Castles game. They did an hour and 45-minute session on Friday evening that I am going to try and break down and highlight the key items that came out of there in 10 to 15 minutes. Hopefully 10, but there's a lot to unpack here. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. Initially, I thought the session was going to be more of a raffle, going through each of the winners and going through that, but only a very short portion of it was about the raffle. Maybe 15 minutes out of the hour and 45. The rest was straight information, upcoming announcements, some great givebacks, a lot of details about the dungeon. So we're going to go through and unpack that. Let's start with the Baron sale that happened on April 1st. We all know there was a bot situation that happened. They admitted there was issues. They admitted that ended up being a lot more bots than expected. What they are doing in the future is they are going to try and do a more interactive whitelisting session type of thing with maybe raffles they had mentioned. They also mentioned they're going to try and mix up the dates of the Baron sales. Initially, next Baron sale is going to be the first. It looks like it could be anywhere from the first to the middle of the month. They haven't finalized the date of it. Also, the next Baron sale is going to be a little more expensive. The last two were $240. This could increase. They didn't give a price on that either. Because of the issues that they had with the bots in the April 1st session, they did do a give back. Basically, they went through the whitelist, which was over 1,000 people on the whitelist, narrowed out the bots or eliminated the bots. And the way they consider bots to be is anyone that merged 3 farms and right away sold that villa and has no other assets on their account other than that little whitelist ticket that you got. They were eliminated, and there was over 400 people that they removed from the list. 400 potential bots removed. So there's about 700 that they went through, and they gave a promo pack to everybody. I was able to get one. With the promo packs, you can get one land. Most likely, it's going to be a farm, 80% farm, 20% villa. I got a farm out of it. I was actually happy to get that because that allowed me to merge a whole bunch of things up. So I was pretty excited about that one. And it's really nice that they gave it back. They said it was $6,000 or $7,000 worth of digital assets that they gave back just because they recognized that there was an issue with the sale itself. So that's very nice of them to do that. Some people are asking for the bigger the bank packs. Come on, people. They're giving us free stuff, so it is what it is. They also did want to highlight that we've been getting some scammers in the Discord. Do not click on any links. The Josh and Robert will never send you a message in DMs out of the blue saying that you won something if you click this link. Do not click on those. It's all over Discord. Every single game that I'm involved with has scammers out there. Never click on a link for someone you don't know that you have not engaged in the conversation first. All right, let's jump over to the raffle event for the Lumberjacks. There is over 10,000 Lumberjacks crafted, so that means there's 10,000 raffle tickets out there. What they did for the raffle itself was, I thought it was good. I know there's a lot of people complaining that it wasn't fair. Why are people with 100 tickets have a higher chance than someone with only one? Come on, people. You buy 100 lottery tickets, you have a better chance than someone that buys one lottery ticket. I thought it was 100% fair, and this is coming from someone that did not win. I did not win anything out of the raffle. What they did was they had the list of 10,000 people. On screen, they randomly generated the order, and then basically anyone that was 1,001 below, they removed from the list. So in order to be in the marbles race that they had, you had to be 1 to 1,000 because there's a limit for the marble races of 1,000. Then they ran the marble race, and then the people that got the first 389 people in that race got a pack, which was basically a randomized pack. When you open that pack, you had a chance to get what the list of prizes that were available. And I don't have that list available anymore, but there was 389 prizes, ranging anywhere from a farm all the way up to the #1 Baron or a castle or something along those lines. So lots of great prizes that they give. Again, I didn't win. I had 6 raffle tickets in there. None of them actually made it in the top 1,000. So it is what it is. It's just neat that they offer that as an alternative or as a second bonus for going ahead and crafting a lumberjack. The one thing that they did mention was those lumberjacks that are out there that are completely done, exhausted. It says exhausted here on your lumberjack that has 0 charges. They did mention that you may want to hold on to those because there could be a burning event after the Explorer Guild event that allows you to get something back for your exhausted lumberjacks. They didn't provide the dates, they didn't provide the details. They just said more to come. So don't go just selling your exhausted lumberjack on the market for 10, 15 wax when it gets down to that point. They are letting you know that there will be another use for them down the road. So keep that in mind as you're going forward. All right. The next thing that they talked about was this was actually near the end of it. It was the courthouse. They mentioned that the courthouse cost has been finalized: 25 lumber, 70 fine wood, and 8 seals. So that is finalized. We have the carpenter event kicking off here tomorrow. That'll allow you to get the fine wood. So I hope you're all ready for that. I hope you all have your lumber. I'll obviously go ahead and be crafting some carpenters. So I am ready for this courthouse crafting event. Starts on May 7th. I'm sorry, May 3rd. Apologize, May 3rd. The other thing that they did mention is you do not need a baron in order to craft this. Part of the storyline is that you're helping a baron in order to craft the courthouse. So there are some questions on the AMA. Do not need a baron. So keep that in mind. They also did provide a screenshot of the courthouse. This is the finished version. Obviously, it's a little small on the screen here. They were zooming into different sections. I didn't grab those screenshots, but this is a sneak peek of what the courthouse will look like in great detail. I thought they did a great job with this. All right, now I want to go ahead and turn over to uh, the dungeons, and I have nothing to show on the screen yet. They provided a lot of details on the dungeons themselves, some screenshots, which I'll show you here in a second. They did mention that more details will come closer to the courthouse crafting event, so we'll continue to get more and more information. And I must say, the more I hear about the dungeons, the more excited I get about Castles. I'm already excited about the Castles game. Obviously, it is one of my top 5 games that I'm playing right now that I'm investing into. I have no secret about that. And I've been excited about it, but the more details that I hear about this expansion, and we'll call it, the more excited I get, and more into castles I get. So let's go ahead and dive in. What they did was they showed us some screenshots, some sneak peeks, I should say. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show a few of them. This first one, Josh was cracking up about. This is the hero, and I apologize if I blanked on his name right this second. But they showed that one of the comical things that the artist did when they came back, when they said they'd go down all the way to the lowest level, they sent an image back with him in his hard underwear. So Josh is cracking up about that one. This next one is actually the one that we're going to sit on here for a little bit because there's a lot of details to it. This is just a sketch. There is going to be a lot more detail. Obviously, they're going to be colored. Obviously, it's going to be looking more of like a game version. But they wanted to show this sketch to us, showing a lot of different things. Everything from your heroes are completely customizable. They mentioned that all the armors will be available. There is a total of 10, possibly 11. They kept hinting at 11th secret slot. But then they kept stressing on the 10 slots. There's 10 different slots where you can mix and match armor. You can either do a full matching armor. Obviously, if you get the equipment in game, you can match it all, or you can mix and match. For example, you can have this shield with this barbarian armor, almost looks like, with this knight helmet, um, based on what stats that they have on there. So you can completely customize it to look any way you want. The stats mix and match. Like I said, there are 11 different slots. They keep saying 10, but that's secret 11th. Um, Also, they did say that by the end of it, there could be over 20 different sets of armor. Right now there's 12. Their goal is up to 20 that they have ideas for. So that's pretty cool. So you can mix and match. That means greater chance of finding different things in the game. All pretty cool things. The rarities of the equipment is going to go from common all the way up to mythic. And most of these, if not all of these, you will find in game as you quest. There's also going to be two different types of heroes. There is what they call the great heroes. These are ones that are limited. They come in three different classes: the knight, the spellbounder, and the thief. So those are the three classes there. They are going to be initially sold in packs as a pack drop. A very limited number of them is going to be sold as packs. And then the rest of the limited ones are going to be found in game as you're doing different quests in the dungeon. So you can find different heroes, which is cool. The other type of heroes are called aspiring heroes. These are the low entry, cheaper hero levels. They kept mentioning that the $10 to $30 range. There's going to be an infinite supply of these. It's basically a chance for those that it's a low point of entry, so it's a cheap entry point. Those heroes only have a limited amount to the overall pool of equipment that you can earn in game. We use 5% as the example. I think that's the example they used on the call. 5% of the rewards are going to go to these aspiring heroes, and the more aspiring heroes that there are in game, the smaller your portion is of that 5%. The 5% will stay the same. If there's 5 heroes taking 5%, you'll each get 1%. If there are 5,000 heroes, you obviously have a much smaller percentage of that. So keep that in mind. But it's nice that they have both a low entry point and then also the elite, I'll call them, the great heroes. In addition to just talking about the heroes, they did mention that they're trying to design the dungeon to be allow people that basically making multi-accounting not beneficial. So what that means is as many heroes as you have, whether you buy them or you earn them in game, they are saying that you'll be able to play all of the heroes in game. I don't know if that means you're going out and you can actually switch between them, which I think that's the case, or if you can run them all at the same time. The thing that they did stress is obviously CPU. The more that you run, the more CPU that you're going to use. So you have to stake more wax in order to get more CPU. But if you have an infinite number of CPU and wax, then you can run more and more heroes. So that's a nice thing that they're trying to keep people away from doing the multi-accounting by allowing you to run multiple heroes. I like that. They even say some people could, if they can afford 100 heroes and the CPU that goes along with it, you can run 100 heroes. Um, Also, they mentioned that you will not be able to craft a hero. Again, heroes only going to come from that limited pack event and then finding them in game. But you will be able to use the resources from the castle side, basically the lumber, the fine wood, the MSource, the royal seals, in order to craft resources in the dungeon. So they are going to bridge, which is great. So whatever you're doing now for the castles game to build up your castle side will also be able to translate on the dungeon expansion side. So that's nice to know that they're all linked together and you're not just everything that you're doing now is not wasted like some games do. So I love the stacking of the different items. And those were the main things that they had that brought up. Again, more details that are going to come around the Royal Courthouse itself. They also did talk very briefly about the future state of castles. A few things that they did mention is they already have plans for additional expansions beyond this dungeon, additional dungeons, and potential other expansions beyond that. So they are looking at the very long term. That sounds like they are looking at years and years down the road, not just trying to get to the end of this year. Also, something that I'm hoping Wax Games really transition to. Right now, it's so much of the click per pay, last a month, move on to the next one. As you can tell by my top games that I continuously talk about, They all have a vision of the long-term future. And I think that's very critical that Wax and community starts thinking long-term and not these crash and burn, maybe a week, maybe a month types of games. They also briefly talked about potentially branching into other blockchains, but this is down the road. It's not finalized. Um, Solana is the one that most games keep talking about. So that and that was came up in this also. So those were the main highlights that they talked about in the AMA session. They went into a lot more detail. Again, the session was an hour and 45 minutes of lots of details. If you are interested at all, I will go ahead and link the full video down below in the description. You can also find it in Discord. The one thing I did want to mention, if you got this far in the video, please, please, please comment down below hashtag Josh Burt. Okay, and if you watch the details, you know what I'm about to show. Right at the end of the video, someone hashtag Josh Burt, which was a joke in the chat. So they tried to merge their faces together, and also joked that someone was going to go ahead and do a screenshot. Yes, I did a screenshot. This is basically Josh Burt. So go ahead, hashtag down below Josh Burt if you got to this point in the video. Call them out, let them know that this will probably become a meme at some point. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Thank you all for joining, and I will talk to you all later. Thank you. Bye.